Good morning, everyone. This is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. This is tax day, or it used to be tax day. Now, because of COVID, it's technically for individuals May 17th. But if you're an 1120, you still got to put a payment in. And if you owe for first quarter 2021, you still have to put a separate payment in because the IRS isn't giving you a break on that, just last year's taxes of timing. But I'm saying April 15th with a grin because as a CPA, this is my 32nd tax season, April 15th. My very first one was 1989 when I was 21 years old. And so I can't believe I've been doing this 2/3 of my life. But the cool thing is, it's led to many other things. And that's what my episode is about today is, who are you? Who are you? Because yes, we all have a job to pay the bills, but we're also many other things. And often others don't allow you to express those other things because of, I think the base reason is fear. So how do we remove fear from our life? So that way we can be more true to ourselves. And I'm going to continue to share my journey in that. And I think 2005 was a pivotal year for me to start my journey of finding myself and who am I really. So we have these layers to us, and whether we recognize it or not. And when we start that journey and we go within, it's so rewarding because you are becoming a creator yourself. You're recognizing the creativity inside of yourself. And when you share yourself with other people, you are making the world a better place. You're in service to humanity. And you're also in, creating something deep and valuable inside of yourself that's somehow affecting the globe. So it's all very connected. Today, I'm going to talk about, as an example, on my journey in finding myself, who am I? About 3 or 4 years ago, and this is, you have to be patient with yourself. There's a lot to uncover in there. So it's not all going to just come out and be right there at your fingertips. When I reference 2005, I try to write a 1-page, what is the meaning of life? And I rewrote that 1 page, why are we here? Probably, it took me, I spent hundreds of hours, like refining it. And I now, 15 years later, part of that is in my book cover, like why are we here, in one of the books. So, and it's like we're on an expedition. We're here to gain experiences. And when we return with our fellow travelers to the other side from our expeditions as specialists, we can share what we learned with each other. So that took me years to kind of get it down into that sentence, but it was worth the journey. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I think 2018, this via art projects, I started with 2 of my dear women friends, Shannon and Nancy, and it's kind of gone, we've all now like spread out and are doing many different things, but it was birthed out of us coming together. And for those of you that are familiar with the ancient verse, a 3-stranded rope or thread is not easily broken. And that's true. When you there's a synergy with 3 people involved, that's different from a partnership, like a couple, a pair. And there's books about that too, the power of the pair. But in the case of 3, you end up, it creates like this, like the family unit of father, mother, child. It creates this synergy. There's a new energy in it. It's an expansion. So we definitely expanded from this. Via art projects has come to be many things. And one of the things for me is art. Yes, it's art, but it's also about, in my life, real estate. It's also about taxation. I do a lot of my client base is a lot about taxes and how it affects real estate. If you're a real estate agent, broker, developer, vacation home, short-term rental person. So one of the things we did to develop this brand is we used a technology tool called Flipsnack to create these digital magazines. And that you might be of interest to you, but it's also a tool that you might want to consider using inside of your own practice, whatever it is that you do. And I'm going to show you some examples of that. One of the things we did in here is we market the real estate. I do a lot of tax terms in there as well. And then some of the other things we do within this brand is we market unique custom homes that are having trouble being sold just only with a traditional realtor. So we support a traditional realtor by doing more creative marketing and using social media. And the important thing we've come to realize is having a book for unique properties, we've talked about this in other episodes, helps get them recognized and also as a legacy. Because there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that have put their heart, guts, and soul into building something beautiful like this. And then when it's time for them to move on, and that's a super grand scale, but there's people that have done like beautiful, amazing custom micro homes as well. And then they're unique. It's hard to sell them. So these books that we put together help promote that. The next one I'm doing is on a renovation. So that's going to be the second book in that series. Okay, so that's about how all of this came out of 3 friends coming together and making art in a space together. So that symbol right here, this little watercolor that I did, symbolizes that. That's an original watercolor. I call it Vortex of the Trinities, and Trinities is 3, and it looks, kind of like a vortex, at least to me. And I have all of our names embedded in there. So one of the things I've learned from tying in the art, here's a bigger picture of it. We'll come over here. I have the state up here. Okay, sorry. Is when you put things into art, and I don't care how good it looks or how quality it looks, when you take something out of your mind and you put it down into doodles, drawings, you are bringing something into the physical. So when you do that, be intentional, because you are more powerful than you think. So when I look back at this painting now and I look at the names inside of that painting, we're all still connected in some way today. And because I've used that painting as a symbol about the synergy of the 3 people, it has created literal vortexes of creative energy. So symbols are important, and so be careful and use them in very good ways, ethical ways. Okay, so now I think I wanted to show you this. This is the inside. I want to show you what happened from creating these vortexes. This is one of the condos we supported in issue 1. We worked with Glenn Hayden, who's a woman, awesome realtor up in Asheville, North Carolina. So for those of you fleeing the Northeast and Washington, D.C. and places of higher income tax and overpriced living, Asheville may be a place for you. It's changed a lot. So I used to spend a lot of time up there, but this one, we helped get it promoted and get this one sold. The views in downtown Asheville, pretty amazing. So that was one we promoted in the first issue. This one we promoted in our second issue, and this is in downtown Columbia. This is the capital. And this town, I think, is a great pied a terre, meaning like a little getaway vacation spot. You can see there's like a little floor plan. It was about 1,300 square feet in this condo. The condo building was a walking distance from the Capitol. This is where they put their holiday tree right here every Christmas, their Christmas tree. Jimmy Derrick, if you're looking to escape another climate or tyrant state, Jimmy Derrick is an awesome contact in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. If you want to look very reasonable priced, it's a university town for South Carolina Gamecocks. For those of you from Philly, you know, Dawn Staley's the head coach there. This is a great place to at least go consider. So you can drive down 95, be there in about 8 hours. Okay, so those are some of the things we do inside of the VR, and then that map, that beautiful castle one, it's in here somewhere. I love this. This is Flipsnack. This is the embedded magazine that we use. So this is a subscription that I pay for annually to use. But this is very cool because it's like a free, you know, magazine to the public, and then we can embed this into all of social media platforms, and it's fun, right? So, and now it's into perpetuity. So in the second issue, we did the book, but we also did this beautiful 8-page spread here. My publisher is the technician that makes it, the layout look amazing. I would not be able to do that on my own. So teams are important. Figure out who you want on your team, on your new digital platform business that you're building. And for me, having the right publisher, because I'm writing in and I'm testing many different formats, author of books, digital content courses, magazine, websites. So to me, having the right publisher on my team was important. So there's a lot of them out there now. You don't need to, the big houses are dead. There's a lot of people that are really excellent at this. So this is Arnica Press. She's pretty booked up right now. I'm keeping her kind of busy along with a lot of her other clients, but do your own research. And if you need help, we can help you find one. You can book a consult with me and I can help you find the right one. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my tech talk now, that segment that I like to do. And that is, I want to talk about how I work with Arnell on my offshore services. So Arnell works for me full time. He's sitting in the Philippines. He's an employee of TOA Global, the outsourced accountant global. Amazing firm to work with. We've talked about that in other videos, and I'm going to go back to them again. But one of the things when you work digitally is to have parallel systems. And I've been working with technology tools since 1989, before there was an internet, before there was email. So having the parallel systems is very powerful, and it ends up bringing fluidity and protection to you. So I used 2 different phone systems. The first one I used was Ring Central before I hired TOA Global. I've been with Ring Central for about 10 or 15, probably 15 years now. And I first started with them for an eFax. And just so you know, these are just, I don't get affiliate fees. The only way I make money is if you hire me or buy my content. I like to talk about tools independently that I use so you know that it's authentic. So Ring Central, I started first because they support eFax. So I still have the same eFax number from them. They're fairly expensive. I think I paid them about, I don't know, $90 a month now because the price has gone around. It's on a subscription. However, I use this when I fax things to the IRS. So having eFax, I don't have a phone fax. I haven't had one in 15 years. So I have all my history of all of the faxes I sent to the IRS inside of Ring Central. I don't really use it for conference calls, but other people do, and kind of Zoom has kind of replaced that, but I still use this as a backup. Now, the other thing I use it for is Arnell and I text through this because, we can't talk directly over the phone without it being an international fortune, but we can text through Ring Central. So he will log in on Ring Central and you can actually text emojis through Ring Central, which is pretty hilarious. And then Grasshopper is the one we have 800 numbers through. So Grasshopper, the last time I checked, did not support fax numbers. So I always kept Ring Central. Now I'm glad I have those two parallel systems, because sometimes Grasshopper has been down. And so then our backup is we use Ring Central if Arnell and I are texting. So when I'm at my desk and he is, at his desk when he's working, his day for me, we will use Google Chat to talk live with each other. And that's very, very fluid. So we don't keep Zoom open, and it's very efficient. So we use Google Chat that way. However, if I'm out with clients doing other activities and he needs me, he will text me through Grasshopper. So I'll like sign off of Google Chat. Okay, I'm gone for the day. Text me if you need me. So now we can text through Grasshopper, and it's free. I'm not getting charged by Verizon or AT&T or whoever. So that's excellent for the international, right? Because we're actually texting now over the cloud through Grasshopper. And then every once in a while, Grasshopper will be down, and then we'll go over to backup Ring Central and we'll text through there. So the other negative about Grasshopper is the group texts are now, because he's sitting on a desktop texting, whereas I'm using Grasshopper on my US-based cell phone, he will not be able to see if it's a group text. So right now we have to do it, like if I bring a client in and there's 3 of us texting, I'll have to tell him that, or otherwise he won't realize there's 2 of us texting, because I think it's a limitation because he's on a desktop. So, okay, so that is my two parallel systems there for my Tech Talk segment. And then I'm going to come back over to my digital course content that I'm building out. And this is coming back to being authentic to yourself. So for me, since 2005, I've been figuring out that I really am a writer, really am a communicator, teacher. So moving from just one dimensional, I'm going to do your tax return and input it, and telling what I know, communicating what I know with others is part of who I am, and I need to be expanding in that direction. So that connect, create, expand is expression I've been using for a number of years now about myself. So that's what I'm doing here. I think I've been playing, this purple's too bright, so I'm going to change that. This type of video will be incorporated into this Digital Warrior course. And so you can follow along and use this as references when you're trying to figure out what to add to your own digital life and platform that you're building. So as I build this up, and these courses you'll be able to connect to and find through my website, so you don't have to come and find another platform and remember that. So I learned this from my publisher too, is we're connecting everything, the blog, the digital magazines, the books, the digital content is all going to be under here. I'm going to have another list here so that'll change to all courses. And so right now you could buy all the courses I have for $99 at once, or you can just buy like one digital booklet at a time. So I'm going to end up including my physical books that I wrote. Like I'll have a coupon inside of each one of these that you can end up getting a free copy of my books that I wrote if it supports that particular topic. So there'll be, and I'll have PDFs and Google links for like a chart of all of the topics inside of one course. So it's going to get pretty robust, and as it gets built up, then I'll increase the price. I used to have it set at a monthly subscription, but I think people are kind of tired of the monthly subscription. I think right now, because they have so many now, like I have, I'm paying Grasshopper $80 a month, I'm paying Ring Central $90 a month, I'm paying Thinkific $90 a month. Flipsnack, I think, is like $400 a year. So sometimes doing a one price thing, people know, okay, this is what I'm getting. So I think I'm going to try that for a little while, see how that works. And Okay, the other thing I'm going to start adding into this is, for those of you that don't know Robert David Steele, I found him as a speaker inside of the Optimized Tribe. He's very well known. He's a retired spy, and he's also has written spy, meaning CIA, retired spy, and he's written, I think, 3,000, 5,000 book reviews on nonfiction. So one of the things that started happening to him, and for those of you that have published books on Amazon, you will have probably experienced this, because I have with my books, is all of a sudden, you know, here you are, you're self-publishing, and Amazon censoring your book reviews. So your friend buys your book and then writes it, and then they're like, oh, nope, sorry, that one can't go up. So now you've spent 3 hours trying to get a book review published, and your friend has, and I've written them for my friends who I love their books. So we're trying, and they won't publish them. Or I have another friend who has been a published author for 25 years, and all of a sudden her book reviews, hundreds, are deleted. So where do they go? But then someone, you know, that's the sister-in-law of the founder of, you know, famous bank in LA, all of a sudden her cookbook has 100,000 reviews, and it just came out yesterday. So you know, there's some kind of cognitive dissonance that's going on there that we don't understand. So the thing, and why I'm saying all that happened to Robert David Steele. His professional reviews were all of a sudden kind of suppressed inside of Amazon, because it's like politically not on the same page, I guess. So what did he do? He took all of his book reviews and he published them on his own website. And I've been a lifetime reader, so I'm very fascinated by this format. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm really interested in coming back to my digital course content, and I'm using the tech tool Thinkific, because there's many other ones out there too, but I really have gotten used to this one now. I like it. I'm going to create another course in here for my book reviews, because I have written them and I have published them on Amazon, and it's like it's too long or it doesn't go up. And I mean, they're books that I don't even know the author, right? So I'm going to start putting all mine and then categorizing them, because I think that'd be a value to people as well. And then the other one I'm going to build out is, I have a lot of frauds that I've studied under continuing education as a CPA. And I've been fascinated by how it's the same fraud often over and over again. So I'm going to put them as case studies all together. And today is an appropriate day because Bernie Madoff went to jail, or was, I guess, discovered in 2008, finally. And when he confessed to his 2 sons, he died yesterday. So that was the biggest Ponzi documented in history so far. So that will be one of the case studies in there, and like, how did that happen? So a lot of that fraud was run out of Palm Beach, Florida, as well as New York City. And I think pension fund in Connecticut, if I remember correctly, was really hit. So at the time he was discovered, I was living in the town of Palm Beach, and it was in the paper, and I knew some of the people that were in the papers by just seeing them around town. So I was obsessed with that story. So I have a lot of documentation on it. So I'm going to try to build that out to help explain. So when you're in your business, it doesn't happen to you, or you can help stop your friends. Because one of the things about frauds, why do they work? Because people don't want to believe they're being scammed. That's one of the biggest things that people are afraid of, and they will deny that there's a fraud because they don't want to admit that they were scammed and taken. So if you think about the emperor's new clothes, that would be the type of story. So the last thing I think I want to say today, and we're not going to do a Mujo today because I've talked a lot. I found Robert David Steele through the Optimized Tribe. So if you're looking for a community, a vibrant community where you're allowed to speak your voice, it's a subscription paying membership. You can join. There's about 2,000 of us in there now. A lot of guest speakers come on. You can listen to them in Zoom. It's live. You can comment, live chat. No one's going to delete the channel because it's a paid subscription channel. And then you have access to the content, into perpetuity as well. And then you can also chat and connect with people in the group. So a lot of the things that I am doing, content-wise, it's helping me because I am in a vortex, right? Like I have a new vortex of tribe to connect with. So that is it for today. So 30-second tax season. Happy April 15th. Oh, and I'll just do, okay. That's developing meditation, okay? Well, let me see if I get see if I can unshare the screen so you can see this. Stop share. Okay. That is developing meditation. So you put your forefingers, your thumb tucked under, like that, on both sides. And hold that for 3 minutes. Long, deep, slow breath. And now you're doing the mudra for developing meditation. Find out who you are. You'll enjoy the ride.